wrestling. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Feast or Fired podcast. I am Brian with my wife, Melanie.
Hello.
And we are doing the November 27th, 2002 show for TNA. This one is going to be going up a little bit late as we, had the holiday weekend, obviously, stuff with family. So, things got a little behind, but we're going to have a chance to catch up because in the coming weeks, apparently that year, their shows landed exactly on Christmas and New Year's Day. So, they didn't have shows for either of those weeks. So there's a good 2-week period where there's just no shows and we can catch up. Get a little bit ahead. So, but that also means there's going to be 2 weeks where you might not hear from us, or I may try to convince my wife to watch something else, but we'll see, okay?
No promises.
No promises yet. I will talk to her about trying to watch something else for special reviews. But until then, we have to concern ourselves with what we're currently watching, and that would be this week's... I keep on calling it Impact, but it's not Impact. It's just the TNA weekly pay-per-view. All right. So, last week, Jeff Jarrett became the world champion. Actually felt important for once. It was the most important world championship match so far. That was a good thing. Anyways, this week, match number okay. We start off with match number 1 on a high note. Sort of. You get the Briscoes versus Divine Storm. I didn't actually think we'd see these guys again. For some reason. I don't know. I guess I'm silly. It's weird to me because they keep on bringing in guys that they keep on touting how they were trained by Mikey Whipwreck, and I just keep finding that weird.
I don't know who that is.
I know you don't know who that is. That's one of the, that'd be interesting to show you. If I could get us to watch an ECW pay-per-view where you could see Mikey Whipwreck, but
good luck.
Yeah, good luck. But yeah, I'm not really fond of these guys' names. It's not that the team name is bad, it's their individual names are bad.
Quiet Storm
And Chris Divine.
You know what? I thought some other people's names were bad, but
This the other two, they're just Mark and Jay Briscoe.
I
don't know how much of those guys we see. I know they're mostly known for their time in ROH, so. And this is them at their youngest professionally. All right. Though I do say, anyways, getting into it, I say we've been seeing a lot of these opening immediate back and forth stalemate sort of situations. Two guys doing back and forth, but never really getting any particular move off. Just kind of quick trading. I'm I understand the purpose of it. It's a good way to show off your athleticism and trying to make you seem like you're both equals in the ring. But at the same time, it's been happening every week, and it's almost too frequent for me. So I'm just taking note of it, and it's standing out to me. Some weird things. The match overall was fine. Some weird things in this match. There was a weird spot where one member of each team was outside of the ring, and then the other two were inside of the ring. And, the two outside were fighting, the two inside were fighting, and then simultaneously the two in the ring decided, hey, let's dive out on on the other one on the outside of the ring. So both people in the ring who are not on the same team in tandem dive onto their their other opponent, which is just weird to see. You don't usually see two guys on opposing teams working together, but at the same time still not together. It just, I don't know. I don't understand the logic behind it. I don't understand why they did it. It's just a weird thing. Noting Trinity keeps getting involved, doing things, but the first thing I noted was this. So far, all I know is she can hit Hurricane Ranas. because like that's all she's been doing so far in these matches.
True.
Later on, she does get involved again, but this time she does moonsault. After the Briscoes actually had control for a bit. I keep getting irritated, though, because the ref is just staring at her directly as she does these things and doesn't do anything about it. And just lets this 3-on-2 happen. But this help from Trinity at this point gives the Divine Storm a chance to hit a finisher and get a win. It was an individual finisher. I didn't pay attention to who did it or what it was, but it happened. Oh, I did say the finisher was a stupid, risky move, and I hate it. That's what I do recall. It involves dropping your person basically face forward and hoping that they turn over and land on their shoulders in time and not spike their own fucking head. It's a stupid move, and I hate it. I can't even describe it better beyond that. It's just stupid.
How much he dislikes it.
It's unnecessarily risky. Is my problem with it. You know what I'm saying?
I understand, babe.
Okay. But yeah, Divine Storm wins after their loss last week. I don't have anything else to add. Do you have anything to add yourself?
No, I all I have is first match is a tag team Briscoes. It's spelled like brisk. And I misspell Divine Storm. And Divine Storm help from their valet. That is what I have.
All right. We get a little bit of passion from Mike Tenay as he talks about Vince Russo, how he doesn't like him, what Vince Russo stands for, and doesn't want to be associated with Vince Russo. And he is pledging not to let Vince Russo take over TNA. After this, there's a video package, but after this, we get Tenay in the ring. He introduces Jeff Jarrett as the new world champion, but instead of Jeff Jarrett, Vince Russo comes out. Russo comes in. He says that Tenay said that if Russo was involved, he would quit, and he points him to the door. Tells him that he'll bring in a chimp to do his job who can do it better. He also suggested at some point in here that Sean Waltman's just not showing up either. I don't know if that's true or not, but whatever. He's throwing shade. This is a stupid work shoot promo. The fans are chanting for Russo. I have no idea why. Anyone in this particular time period knew anything about what happened with WCW, you'd think they wouldn't be happy about him being here. Anyways, he talks about Jeff Jarrett, talks about the WCW versus WWF politics, and then him and Jarrett bouncing between the two, apparently. Apparently Russo was helpful in getting Jarrett back and forth. I don't know. I stopped paying attention. I stopped caring. This is because I hate this sort of like backroom politics, real bullshit that he does, that he's so fond of. Says he's bringing change. I say I don't really care, though. And he takes credit for Jarrett being champion. Also, he wants an answer on whether or not Jarrett's going to be on his side or not. And yeah, that's what happened with Vince Russo. I'm pretty sure you checked out during this part.
I don't know what makes you think that. I 100% did.
Because I know what he's talking about, and I still don't give two fucks.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was really hard for me to get into it because I'm like, I don't know what. Like, I remember him saying, Jarrett asked him about TNA and shit like that, kind of leaning towards the fact that something that I already knew because of you, that Jarrett and Jarrett's daddy owns, as of right now, TNA.
I actually don't know if it's as of right now. I know the trade. I know being sold to Dixie Carter happened really quickly.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it was within 6 months, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, and we're roughly at the 6-month mark, huh? Almost.
Something like that. Almost. Started in June, we're in November. We are getting close.
But, like, I don't know, like, outside of that, I don't know what else is going on. And it just seems like a bunch of whiny baby shit.
I can see where you would get that impression.
Like, well, why doesn't anyone like me? What? It's like, okay, dude. Time to get
As
your
I said, I can see where you get that impression. Yeah, this stuff is not fun for anyone who doesn't know what's going on. And even for those who do know what's going on, it's generally not fun. We cut to Mortimer Plumtree, who is talking about guys putting in bids on contracts. I don't know the guys' names. Apparently, they were trying to get AJ Styles. He gets cut off and never finishes, so I don't know what the whole point of that was.
I must have been really checked out because I don't even remember that.
It was a nothing segment because it did not matter.
Ah.
I don't know if it matters. It didn't tonight, and I will not remember by the time we watch the next show.
Oh.
Because it did not matter so much, or mattered so little. I don't even know the proper way of saying it.
It did not matter.
It did not matter.
That is the proper way of putting that, hun.
Match number 2, America's Most Wanted versus the Hot Shots. I noted that Storm has a jawline beard now. And I said this is good because he's got has a baby face, and he needs something to make himself look less like a child. At least that's my opinion. Do you feel that James Storm has a baby face?
I think he has chipmunk cheeks.
And you're Storm, not.
I think both of them have chipmunk cheeks.
I still think Storm, without his beard, looks like a child. He looks like he's like 14.
No, honey, so do you. So like, I don't know what to tell you there.
That's because I'm fat.
I love you.
It's because I'm a big fat dude who can't grow a beard, unlike James Storm. But yeah,
he tries.
If he wants to get this rugged cowboy fucking thing going, he needs something more than a fucking baby face. I said this match is kind of interesting because we're revisiting an old rivalry between after AMW lost the belts, so it's interesting to see a match that had nothing to do with the belts anymore. Match again, pretty good match. Got an interesting cheat from Cassidy where he's arguing with the ref to distract him from choking Storm with his shin. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but that was cool. Hot Shots have early control until a hot tag from Harris gets Storm going wild. After that point, they're just in complete control. They both hit their singles finishers, and then they hit the death sentence, top rope double man leg drop thing. But after that, they get distracted because James Mitchell is on stage. So they both go out because, they want James Mitchell bad. They want to get him for what they, because basically Mitchell screwed them out of their belts.
Multiple times, actually.
He screwed them over multiple times. But going after him gets them counted out. So Hot Shots win. They don't get the hands on Mitchell, but they do get to grab Belladonna and drag her to the ring. They set her up for the death sentence, but unfortunately, Mitchell distracts them long enough for Slash and Lee to come and attack them and prevent them from hitting it. And that was basically the end of that segment. So, AMW handed their second loss now, though this time because of their own fucking stupidity. I can't blame them. This is a situation where it's absolutely acceptable for them to lose focus and be, distracted enough to be counted out as the baby faces. So I can't knock it. I'm just going to call them idiots because it's fun to call them idiots.
He calls everybody idiots, even me.
Really don't.
Oh, you have. Don't lie.
I don't lie. To make you an idiot, you're not an idiot. You just do stupid things.
Marrying you a stupid thing?
Probably. I call you an idiot that often. Anyways. We go back to the back with Goldilocks. She's searching for Jeff Jarrett. Wants to interview him. She's stopped by a Mr. Funk who refuses to let her through. I'm assuming this is Dory Funk Jr., and I turned out later I was absolutely correct.
Oh, did you do the interview with Bruce? Because I thought that was before that.
No, that's after Easy Money.
I thought it was before
Nope.
that. Okay.
Match number 3, tag titles are on the line. It's Kurt Hennig and BG James versus the current champions, the Disciples of the New Church. The beginning of the match, Hennig is in complete control of Slash, but when he tags in BG James, it's lost immediately because James sucks. And the best thing he's best at is basically being at the receiving end of the attacks. Through the match, though, they're back and forth. They do decide to start targeting Brian Lee's leg. Hell, Hennig has so much control over this guy, he even through a eye poke manages to hold on to him and tag James back in, which I thought was fun. I also see Hennig holding Lee's hair to keep him into the corner. I gotta say this, if I had started watching today and I had not seen the previous segment with AMW and the New Church, I would assume right now that Hennig and James were the heels in this match because they're doing the most heelish things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least so far. All right, BG James does dump to the outside, letting Belladonna and Mitchell get in some cheap shots. At a certain point, basically the end of the match comes. We get Lee and Slash. Looks like they actually have the match won, but AMW rushes the ring anyways and starts attacking them and causes disqualification. So the champions retain via disqualification, and because it was not intentional, which is what the rule is, they don't lose their belts.
It kind of was intentional, though.
It was not intentional on the part of the New Church. That's the rule.
Okay, yep, because what's his name knew for a fact that they would not try to do anything.
Oh, I'm just telling you what the rule that Bob Armstrong made was when he said that you can lose lose on a disqualification or count out. It seems like it has to be intentional on your part.
They
retain.
They listen to the rules arbitrarily, so I don't care arbitrarily.
Arbitrarily?
That's the word I'm trying for.
Okay, match number 4, Easy Money versus Local Talent, I think. That's what I have written here. I'm assuming we're not going to see this kid again because it was a squash match. I say it's just a good match where you see Money being able to take control and show off his X Division chops. We do get a weird chant. The crowd is just weird tonight. Get a chant from them of "Let's go, Jobber," which was funny.
I don't know what that is.
A jobber? Doing the job means basically going out there and taking a loss. And a jobber is someone who basically does only that.
Oh, so they were...
Their entire role is to make others look good and to lose.
Okay, so they were doing it for the other. Yeah.
That's what jobber usually means.
Well, I learned something new today.
Yeah, it's something to know.
I will not retain this information.
All right. So far, Easy Money, he's been pretty good. I'd like to see what he can do in a better X Division match. I don't want just some random dude like this. I don't know. I'd like to see him against AJ Styles one-on-one or something else. You know what I mean?
I thought you were getting sick of AJ Styles.
I'm getting sick of him in the title picture. All right. Now, Goldilocks with Bruce.
Okay.
But he's no longer Bruce. He says he's now just call him Alan Funk.
Which is why I was bringing it up.
But by the way, just so everyone's clear, Dory Funk Jr. and Alan Funk, Bruce, are not related whatsoever. I double-checked this. They are not related whatsoever. Anyways. He says he was consoling. He talks about the situation with April. He says he was just consoling her, and that's why he was in there with her. Also suggests that he might give her the Miss TNA championship or Miss TNA crown. I don't know.
He kind of mentions that.
Yeah, but that was basically it. He's no longer Bruce. He's gonna he's giving up the Miss TNA thing.
Because he may or may not be gay.
Why is being gay a prerequisite is my question.
Okay, because that was the whole thing with him being Miss TNA, because he was like, gay men should be able to have a chance, blah, blah, blah.
Can't I be I don't know.
Yeah, honey, finish that thought.
Why do I have... If a man can have it, why does being gay matter?
Well, because at that point in time, in 2002, that was like... I'm going to say this and I'm not believing it, just so we're all clear.
What, is this like the equivalent of being a woman?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like,
okay,
a lot of...
so it's really not the Miss TNA, it's the Miss I Like Dick.
Yeah, I was... Not what I was actually going to say, but the terminology, at least even back then, at that point, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure on this, was still fairy for gay guys. And that could have been
I personally
the whole thing.
find it silly.
Being called a fairy?
No, just the whole...
Oh, because what guy wants to be called Miss if they're not gay? I think that's what it is. Because
do gay guys want to be called Miss in general?
Apparently, I mean that's kind of what what it looked like, sounded like.
I don't know. I think this is a weird topic to be going on about. All right, match number 5: Crimson Dragon versus Sonny Siaki. I noted Dragon has a new outfit this week and a different mask, and I'd say this it's more coherent and looks more professional and well put together. It doesn't look like last week where he was just handed a mask and told to go out 5 minutes before the match. So, it was this probably actually was the best match of the night. As weird as it is to say. When we do actual like monthly pay-per-views, I will try to have like better, more coherent notes talking about the matches.
I won't. I may come up with better nicknames.
It's hard. Okay, it's hard to do weekly things where I like try to cap the entire match because it just drags out the show. But at the same time, I don't want to just say, oh, well, this match was good. So I try to note things that I find to be important or details that I notice or moves that I like, stuff like that. I will say they do go toe-to-toe. Dragon offered a handshake after their little back-and-forth bout, which Siaki refused with a strike.
Do you blame him?
I see Dragon did an interesting dive to the outside where he flew through the middle rope between like the top and second rope sideways.
That was cool.
Like he was in a lounge chair and someone threw him sideways out the ring, but between the ropes and hit Siaki with the clothesline. That was cool and interesting and different. I can't imagine it's necessarily the safest thing in the world, but it was cool to see. Finish comes with both guys on the top turnbuckle, and Siaki lifts Dragon over top his head and throws him to the mat. Off the top turnbuckle. And then he hits him with the Siacalypse and gets the victory. So it was a good win for Siaki. Probably one of his better matches so far.
I actually noted, I was like, because I don't like Lucha Mask Fighter, which is what I call.
He's okay.
But I was like, I kind of hope Egomaniac wins. And we all know how much I love Egomaniac.
I said actually right in here, I said this may be one of his best individual matches for Siaki. After the match show, he gets the mic and he basically says, if I don't get better opponents, title matches, and main events, I'm not going to be here anymore.
Can't really blame him for that, though.
Yeah, he has been doing his position. First of all, he was supposed to have a world title match that he never got a chance at, which I think they just dropped and forgot about. That's fine, but his track record right now is pretty fucking good. So, like, the fact that he is not getting these opportunities, I don't blame him right here.
No, I really don't.
He's where Jeff Jarrett was. Except, Jeff Jarrett had worse matches.
Well, no, because Jeff Jarrett had the same opponent 5 fucking times.
Because he had to fight Scott Hall 6 times. Ugh.
But not even. I'm not touching that one.
I'm so glad he's gone right now. Just because I'm sick of Jeff Jarrett versus Scott Hall. They have such good chemistry, but like I've seen it so many times. All right, Goldie's in the back with April. She is still doing the trying to play innocent fake crying bullshit, and Goldie is just sick of it.
I
That was
love
the only
Brian.
thing I got from this. Go ahead.
I love Brian. I just. And then, she turns around and is like, oh, sounds like you're jealous. It's like, okay, wow.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
That took a 180 real fast. Would
Jealous. Yes, that's what she is.
I would never
Jealous.
cheat on Brian.
She never cheated on Brian.
I would never cheat on Brian. My husband, Brian, not the other Brian.
Yeah, this is because it's my name. Lucky me, I get to share the same name as Brian Lawler.
You love your name.
There's a reason why I go by Apocalyptic Cheese on Twitch. Next segment, Brian Lawler comes out. He looks very upset, but in his very cartoony way. Because he's a living cartoon, man.
He really is.
I love him. I just wish there was a series of films that were just Jim Carrey and Brian Lawler. Because they would be so good. Just being these living cartoon characters. I wish. Anyways. Said he was being made a fool by April and her sleeping around. And then he's just like, I'm quitting wrestling due to all the stress because I can't take this anymore. And then we go to the back, and Goldie's trying to talk to him, and Priscilla's leading him out. And as they exit the arena, we see him grabbing her ass. So I'm guessing he's not actually done because, with Priscilla being Estrada's squeeze.
That's gonna go over like a lead balloon.
Of course. Unless Estrada just doesn't get involved. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know where it goes. I haven't looked forward, but we'll see. Match number 6. Okay. Match number 6. X Division Championship. AJ Styles versus Jerry Lynn. We get an exchange of words from them, which leads to Lynn giving him a headbutt. I say, we really feel the built-up rivalry in this match. Both not seeming to want to hold back on either, because we're going full fucking steam ahead with these moves, and them trying to get one up on each other and knowing each other's abilities and what their maneuvers are. And it really plays well into the storytelling of the match. And this match basically boils down to Styles and Plumtree throwing everything they have plus the kitchen sink at Jerry Lynn. Plumtree tries to intervene, just ends up getting kicked into Styles. I say at this point, or right after this though, he does manage to grab Lynn and stop him from climbing back into the ring. Still, at this point, I'd say overall a net negative for Styles on as far as how helpful Plumtree has been. This was at this point in the match. We haven't gotten like that deep into it. Styles does try to pull the mat back and expose the concrete. There's a one failed attempt to, drop. I think it was do a pile driver onto it. Does eventually manage to do a move onto it. I don't remember. It was thanks to Plumtree's distraction. I think it was just like a face plant or something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Plumtree assaults Lynn while Styles has the referee distracted. This does leave Lynn bleeding. At some point, Plumtree pulls out what I think are some sort of knuckles. I don't know if they're brass knuckles or what. It looks like a white piece of ceramic that wrapped around his hand,
Yeah, it definitely was weird.
It looked weird. It was hard to be clear what it was, but I guess it could have just been a really bright metal.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he keeps using that on Lynn throughout the match. I say it feels like Lynn is fighting for his life here, but he's letting Plumtree be too much of a distraction. Though at a certain point, he does start having these moments where he's distracted by Lynn, or Lynn's distracted by Plumtree, and Styles tries to jump him, but Lynn, on multiple occasions, manages to turn it back against Styles, which I thought was good. I think it was another good element to the storytelling here, where Lynn, despite everything, despite knowing everything's being thrown, everything being thrown at him, all the cards being stacked against him right here, right now, he is learning. He has learned. He is the veteran here. He knows what he's doing, and he's taking advantage of what he thinks is coming to get over on Styles, despite the fact he is still basically fighting for his championship in his life here. And not literally his life, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I say though, despite this though, there are certain points in this match that okay, no. Actually, I then my next note was basically what I just said. I also say this: the way this match was feeling near the end, it really felt like this was the bookend to this rivalry, and that if Styles can't win this is his last shot for a while. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't generally have someone fight this hard and lose unless it's the end. It's the end of the feud. So I like to hope this is the end of the feud tonight. Anyways, finish comes when Plumtree tries to toss Styles his knuckles or wherever they were into the ring, but they go over Styles' head. Lynn catches it, and with the distraction from, I don't know if it was Plumtree or whatever was happening, he takes the moment, gets the shot in on Styles, pins him, wins. Jerry Lynn victorious and triumphant. This was a fucking excellent match as far as the storytelling was going. Even though I am sick of these two fighting right now, it was still fucking good, and I can overlook the fact that I want to see someone else for tonight, because this was a great end. Assuming it is the end. If they continue this, I'm going to be pissed. But I think this is the end. Anything to add, sweetheart?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. I know I do a lot of talking. I know you don't do a lot of talking. Part of it's because, I just know so much more because I've watched wrestling for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Actually, almost exactly 20 years. A little bit longer. But,
Yeah, I'm not into wrestling. Sorry,
yeah, and
guys.
you're just not as into it. But there are things you like.
There are things I like.
Okay. Match number 7. World Championship match between Jarrett and Truth. It's the rematch. I say I give Jarrett credit. He wears the belt like a champion. He's got it wrapped around him. It looks like it's important to him. It doesn't look like just an accessory. It looks like it's, it looks like it matters when he wears it. Which is not something I can say so much for Shamrock or Truth, because sometimes, did Truth even come out with it sometimes?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Truth's early strategy. Bleh. I need a drink, but we're so close to being done. His early strategy seems to try to catch Jarrett off guard with a quick pin, but it's not working, as usually doesn't. Truth tries to go for the scissor kick, is caught by Jarrett, who tries to go for the figure 4. But Truth flips this over immediately, showing that they both learned from each other from their last match. I thought that was cool. That's a way to build upon previous matches. The match keeps swinging momentum. Both being heels kind of makes this a little harder to care, but at least it's a good match. Which, especially for the World Championship, seeing a match where I go, this is pretty good, is just nice. You know what I mean? I have too many times been like, man, this match is just so hard because it's just not that good. You know what I mean?
Anything with sideburns.
Yeah.
You hated sideburns.
He was so terrible in TNA. I don't know why. He had good matches in WWE. It seems like both guys are trying to pull out as many dirty tricks as they can. We see, like Jarrett put a chair in the corner, him take off the turnbuckle pad, things like that. They even fight around the arena. My wife died. Not that you're hearing it, but.
Sorry, everybody.
Eventually, fighting around the arena, they do actually. Oh my god.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Fighting around the arena, they do eventually climb some scaffolding together and both fall off into some tables. Where this leads to a double countout. But do you want to say?
I didn't want to say. But what's his name? Armstrong?
Bob Armstrong.
Bob Armstrong comes out. And he's like, "No, there is no count out for this one."
Okay.
I don't remember what else he said.
Okay, you need to. Don't turn it down.
Sorry, I got so excited because he was like, "No, denied."
But yeah, Bob Armstrong restarts the match. We get no less than 2 ref bumps. I don't remember exactly what happened in the first one. The second one, Truth was in position to win, but he didn't, and I think they cut away for whatever reason, and I didn't see what happened where now Jarrett was standing and Truth wasn't. And then Russo comes out and hands Jarrett the guitar. Jarrett teases for a moment like he's going to hit Ron with it. Then he climbs up into the corner, stares down at Russo, and smashes the guitar on the corner post. Basically being like, "I don't need your help," was the idea of this. He goes back, hits Killing with 3 strokes in a row, pins him, and wins. And Russo doesn't look happy. And the show goes off the air with Russo demanding that Jeff Jarrett answer him on whether or not he's going to be with him or against him. But before we get an answer, time runs out and the show ends. So, cliffhanger. Jarrett's dead.
I was about to say that, but I couldn't unmute my microphone.
All right. How are you feeling about this show? Unless you have something else to add about the world title match.
Oh, no, I have nothing. You did
Of course
great.
you don't.
Well, it's not my fault.
Maybe what I should start doing is writing down like more direct questions I want to ask you.
Go for it.
In the future, so that we can get more input from you. But I will feast or fired.
Well, Jerry Lynn won. Yay! Sorry, I really like Oodles and Noodles.
She's happy knowing what's coming.
I know it takes a while, okay?
Just go.
Anyways, I actually like the fact that Sunglasses won without cheating.
I'm sorry, what?
Without cheating too much.
He was the one that put the chair in the corner and the one that took off the turnbuckle pad.
Yes, and
Jeff Jarrett absolutely was cheating. He just wasn't getting additional help.
All right, fine. I'm glad that he won without getting additional help. Happy?
Yes.
Jerk.
He was cheating though.
Tomato,
it's like
tomato.
you can't say he wasn't cheating. He absolutely was cheating.
Tomato, tomato. You know.
Absolutely was cheating.
I actually do like the fact that Egomaniac won because I really don't like Lucha Mask Fighter. I liked his costume this time, but I don't like him that much.
I see.
So I guess I'll give
Crimson
this.
Dragon.
Yeah, I guess I'll give this a feast because I wasn't completely bored the whole time.
Okay. I give it a feast. Wasn't as good. I don't think it was as good as last week overall, but the finality and story told of the X Division Championship match and just another decent World Championship match really sold this show. I don't know what else to say. I think Siaki had a really good match this night. I mean, Easy Money got to show off some things. I mean, like we're knee deep into some stories here that I think are actually not too terrible. So like everything right now is looking good. Doesn't look like I have a bum week coming up anytime soon. So I may not give a fired for a while if they can keep up this momentum.
I do like Chippendale Dancer stripper.
Anyways,
Sorry.
thank you for listening. As I said, we might be a little late over the next couple because,
we
we
might
got a
be
little late over this past weekend, but we will be getting caught up with the 2 weeks off and maybe even be able to throw up a couple other interesting shows. Maybe I'll get my wife to watch a pay-per-view from another thing or something. Maybe I'll get her to watch the episode of SmackDown where John Cena debuted. I have no idea. We'll see.
I don't like John Cena.
You might like his debut. It's kind of funny.
Remember the call? Yeah.
That has nothing to do with this.
Oh, it has everything to do with this.
You're being petty.
He should have been the bad guy.
Oh, that's lovely.
Spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen it.
How is that a spoiler?
Well, because he's not the bad guy.
He's not in the credits.
Well,
He's not credited for the film.
He should have been.
Yes, because they're going to make their biggest draw the bad guy.
I would have.
Nope.
This is why movies suck. I'd be an excellent director.
Sure. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Keep on wrestling.
Have a good night.